Thank you. Thank you. All right. All right. I'm back over here on my Facebook page of Yah-Tay the Barber Stylist, as well as, and I'm going to go live here on, I'm going to see if it'll allow me to go live here. It says in the other live on the other device. So I'm going to just cancel that and keep going live over here. But nonetheless, thank you all for tuning in, for those of you who are joining me. So once again, I'm Yah-Tay Keaton, also known as Yah-Tay the Barber Stylist. I am the host of Female Barber Talk with Yah-Tay. You have joined episode number 27. Yes, I made it to 27. Tonight's topic is actually part of a 3-part series that I started last week. The series is titled Serving the Little Kings and Queens, Cutting with Care. The first of the 3 episodes, number 26, was First Cuts and Big Feelings, Serving Children with Care. That was last week. I gave out a few pointers. I'm not going to touch on them tonight. However, if you're interested in watching part 1 of this series, and it's 3 parts, if you're interested, please look. If you're on Yah-Tay the Barber Stylist Facebook page, just scroll down, you'll see last week's. If you're on Talk with Yah-Tay Facebook page, this is my first time going live on that platform. Excuse me, y'all. The reason being, Instagram is still having problems. So I'm switching up so that I can get the information out there. So I'm broadcasting live first from my, let me repeat that. I'm broadcasting for the first time on my Talk with Yah-Tay page via the Female Barber Talk platform. And of course, our YouTube channel at Real Roots TV. I've been broadcasting live via this podcast for the last 27 episodes. So we're familiar with that. And on TikTok, I'm trying to get the hang of this in my TikTok family. I only have about 113 viewers. Let me see, 113 followers. So what it is telling me, I got to have at least 1,000 followers to go live on that platform. I don't know how to know what that's all about, but I'm trying. It's just too many platforms, y'all. It's just too many. But I'm working to get the information out, because I feel with my background, the experiences that I've had, you know, both working with children, military, for-profit, non-for-profit, that I have a lot of information and just good nuggets to share with you all. So that's what we're doing tonight. So to hop into this episode 27, it is Beyond the Chair, the emotional intelligence of grooming children. Like I said, you're listening to Female Barber Talk with Yah-Tay podcast, where passion meets clippers and shears and trimmers and all of those good things. So I do have notes, because I want to be intentional about the information that I share with you all. So I have 5 points that we're going to talk about tonight. So the focus will be discussing the emotional layers of working with children and how grooming services impact their self-esteem, their confidence, and their behavior. And I have a few images as well as some short video clips that I've actually, I think one of them I left the sound in because I wanted y'all to hear one of my youngest clients. He's a junior. He's going on 7 this year. He'll be 7 in October. 7. He'll be 7 in October. But nonetheless, when they get tired, how they feel, how they express it with no filters. So I'm going to show you all that as well. I got a couple of other images to show you how grooming services impact the child's self-esteem, their confidence, and their behavior. You'll be able to see the facial expressions via the images, and you'll be able to hear their response via some of the clips that I have that I'll share with you throughout this particular episode. So today is about more than shaping style. We're shaping identity for those of you who groom and service children. For me, my youngest is 3. I think Savannah is 3. Yeah, Savannah is 3. And my eldest client is 83. Miss D, she turned 83 April 10th. So I have a wide range of clients in terms of their ages, as well as I have a diverse clientele. Um, Straight hair, textured hair, curly hair, super curly hair, um, um, over curly hair, whatever y'all call it. I don't go by the 1, 2, 3s and ABCs. It's fine, medium, and coarse for me. I learned old school. But be that as it may, though my specialty is natural hair care or textured hair care, braids, locks, twists, cornrows, all of those different things, I actually can cut and do cut all hair textures. So with that being said, let's jump into tonight's episode 27, Beyond the Chair, the Emotional Intelligence of Grooming Children, which is part of the series Serving the Little Kings and Queens, Cutting with Care, or Styling with Care. Should be say styling with care, but it's cutting with care. So some of the topics that we're going to cover tonight, there are 5 of them. The first one is understanding developing the developmental stages. I'm not going to, get in that bag to tell you, toddler, adolescence, and all of that. But we're basically going to talk about or discuss the stages, toddlers versus tweens and teens and young adults. But the biggest, core here is toddlers versus tweens. The second subject is, or topic is, grooming and identity in children, especially our Black and Brown communities. So though it's generalized, there will be a little extra focus on that community because I mainly service our young Black African American community and some brown community as well. The third topic is the barber stylist as a role model. So the barber or stylist, in my case, barber stylist, as a role model, and what kids see and feel. That's very, very important. Okay. The next one is stories of transformation that change behavior at home or at school. I have some things to share as it relate to that. So the last one is balancing structure and freedom in the chair. So structure in terms of what's going to happen, how it's going to happen, ensuring that they act accordingly for safety purposes, yet allowing them to have a little bit of freedom. If you watched the episode last week, I talked about how I share with them what's going on, get their input, ask them questions. I share with them how it's supposed to turn out, how the style or cut is supposed to look. And sometimes I leave a little something unfinished so that they're able to identify what it is and point out what needs to be done. So with me, I love teaching. It's in me. I just share that. So with me, I want my children to know what's going on, always know what's going on, and feel comfortable with having that conversation, whether they understand or don't understand, or something doesn't feel right. They just want to know. So I do my best to create an environment where they can communicate to me and they not feel like it's a problem, or they won't because they're scared or they're timid or they're shy. So I ask questions, and most of them are open-ended questions because I want a response. I want to get them engaged in the process. And once again, thank you to my TikTok followers. I appreciate it. If you are seeing me, great. If you aren't seeing me, guess what? I got to get some more followers. And right now I just have 113. So I need y'all help. Hit that follow button. So those are the topics that we're going to cover. And like I said, we shape, I shape, in this case, I shape more than hair. I shape how they see themselves. So we shape more than hair. We shape how the children see themselves. So the first point, what does this mean? It means to me that we really service children beyond a quick cut or style. In this episode, I'm going to dive into the emotional side of working with children, whether you're a parent, a stylist, or both, because some parents are stylists or some parents are barbers. You'll walk away with tools to uplift the child in your chair through compassion, cultural care. We used to call it cultural competence, being able to understand the other person's culture or have some knowledge of that culture, as well as communication. Communication is big when we're working with children, getting to their level. I said last week, I speak kids, I speak children, and I do. As a matter of fact, in the salon today, I was working with this little one. He had to be about 3 or 4, and it's like my whole personality changed, focused on him, and he and I were just having a conversation. And the other stylists noticed it, and they were like, "Oh, I want to join the conversation because of how he and I will communicate." Hey, WK, thank you for joining. We're just starting out. I had a few technical difficulties. Thank you for showing up and supporting. I greatly appreciate it. Had a few technical difficulties, so I had to start the podcast over because it actually froze. But nonetheless, we're in this, we're getting it done, and we're actually on the first topic of Beyond the Chair, the emotional intelligence of grooming children. And as I was saying, parents, stylists, or both will walk away with nuggets or things, some tools to uplift their children and uplift their children in the chair through compassion, cultural care, and communication. So, like I said, with my now is 20 years. Because I started professionally, where I worked with children professionally in 2005, but I had always been working with children since my very first job. And I worked at a rec center in my hometown called Wildwood. That was my first job, working with children at a summer camp or summer. You know how you go to the summer camp rec center for the summer. So that was my job. Anyway, with over 2 decades of experience working with children and youth, I'm here to remind you all that we're shaping more than hair. We're shaping self-esteem, and we're shaping confidence. And we're also, in some cases, shaping their communication or how they view themselves. So that's what really matters to me when it comes down to our children and the role that I play in them loving who they are, what they look like, getting their input as to the results that they want to see, and also understanding that process. So I take it to heart. I just say that I take it to heart. WK says here, that's the challenge phase when it comes to cutting hair. It's so important to be able to be there for them emotionally and mentally, because usually that's when they are getting their first haircut. Yes, which WK, that brings me to, and I talked about this in the last episode, when a child's getting their first cut, I try to encourage the parents to bring them by so that they can see the environment that they're in, especially if they're special needs or autistic children. because there's a lot of stimulation going on. You know, a lot of things happening. And we'll talk about that next week. That's part 3. All right. So y'all tune in next week for that. But nonetheless, it's a lot of things going on. The other reason why I ask parents to bring their children in is to meet me so that they can get a feel. We can kind of build a rapport. And also, I just want them to feel comfortable. It passed my mind the point that I was going to say. It'll come back to me and I'll drop that in. I got so much information that I want to share, but nonetheless, I asked the parents to bring them in. With that, I don't want children to experience trauma and walk away not wanting to come back. So if the child is emotionally not ready, then I advise the parent just to wait. Have them come visit the barbershop a couple times before we actually get into cutting their hair or servicing the child. Because if they have a traumatic experience, then they begin to associate that with grooming. And I don't want that to be the foundation for them. So that's something that I do. Some people will just cut them and they crying and screaming and yelling and all of that, you know, but of course the parent knows their child temperament. They know if we can go through with it. Even with that, I'm still very mindful and I'm still very attentive in how I handle my session with a child who's getting service for the first time, be it haircut, braids, whatever. And there's a little hesitancy or they're afraid. I'm just going to say afraid. So with the first topic of understanding the developmental stages, toddlers need reassurance. Tweens, teens, and even our young adults, they need respect. So I adjust my my energy, I adjust my voice, even my tools based on the child's stage. And man, I should have. Would y'all bear with me while I go grab my bag of tools? Because I show y'all something and it'll demonstrate this thought perfectly. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. All right, I'm back. I even brought the capes back again so that I can share that, even though I talked about them in the first episode. Thank you. WK says here, do you allow parents to hold their child when their hair is being cut? Yes, I do. I do allow the child to the child to hold the parent. I do allow the parent to hold the child. If that's the case, I drape the parent and I drape the child as well. If they want to stand, I let them stand. Whatever it is that they desire to do, I work with them because at the end of the day, they are coming to me for a service, and whatever it takes to get that service done, I'm all for it. And that's because I work with children. So I'm used to making the adjustments and doing what is necessary to accommodate the parents and make it as friendly and the environment accommodating for the child as well. TikTok fam, y'all don't forget to hit that follow as well as on my other platforms. Hit that follow button, like, comment, and share. So as I was sharing with my tools and making the adjustments, using the tools based on the child's stage, not just their age. So for example, I'm gonna pull out my trimmers that I use. Okay, So I normally, my other trimmers in my bag, I gotta actually clean them. So I normally use my Slimline Pro for toddlers. They are Gap manufacturer. I don't go in and try to make them super sharp or none of that. So I normally use these with my toddlers and school age children. And school age children is from first to a kindergarten, a pre-K, depending on how you want to say it, babies up into the 5th grade. Then these are my Cocoa clippers, which they're very, very, very sharp. The digital gap, so they're very precise in terms of the blade. So I use these for my teenagers and adults. And then I also have my Andes GTX. So I may use those with my school age who are 4th, 5th grade who can handle it. And sometimes my teens, if they can't handle these. How do I know if they can or they can't handle the tremors on their forehead or on their skin? I'm paying attention to body language. I'm looking at facial expressions. And because I ask my children to communicate with me, I'm also listening to them as well as asking them, how does this feel? I also ask my adults because I want to make sure that my trimmers are not biting them, okay, chewing their necks up or chewing their forehead up. So I'm always mindful and checking with them to see how it feels. So this is what I use with them amongst my other tools. So I always use cordless, because cordless give me the freedom, even though in my opinion they're not as powerful as a corded clipper and or trimmer, but I always keep a corded trimmer and clipper on for backup. And I tell you, just Saturday I was using the clipper, and it went out on me. Wasn't plugging it in. I just kept using it. Guess what? I went in my little basket like this here, pulled out my corded clippers, finished the job. But yeah, I keep my corded ones on hand as well as a pair of a corded clipper and trimmer on hand, along with my cordless. And of course, I talked about Kate. So making children feel safe, making not safe, but making them feel like it's about them. I have various capes for them, and I even let them pick out which one they want. Most of them are geared towards little boys, but I do have one for a little a little girl here. So with that, understanding the needs of toddlers and tweens, as I said before, toddlers need reassurance. Teens, tweens, teens, young adults need respect. Okay, so my first example of this is a toddler may cry or cling to the parent, which goes back to what we can say. Do I allow the question she asked? Do I allow parents to hold their children? Yes, I do. I do allow them to hold their children. Wike says, "Oh wow, you come prepared." Yes, I do come prepared, and I think a lot of it has to do with my background and experience of working with children. So I'm always thinking about them. And when y'all come listen to the episode for next week, you'll see more of how I really get into my children, more specifically those with special needs and who are autistic as well. But nonetheless, like I said, toddlers cry or cling to their parents because they're still developing trust, which is another reason why I ask the parents to bring them to me. So before they come, I'm gonna speaking of that, I'm gonna show y'all this picture of one of my younger children and how I get into um, being connected with them. So this is one of my youngest ones. Um, I finished his hair and he giving me a hug, but the connection. So building that trust. He didn't come to me right away the first time because he was getting to know me. But by the end of his styling process, appointment, that's what we had. And I'm going to show you all this as well. Here's another one. So during the process, this is what he wanted to do, and I allowed him to do it. So as you can see, sorry, TikTok folks, y'all aren't able to see these images, but you can catch the replay and check it out. So the little one wanted the comb. So I gave him the comb, and I had another comb that I can use while I was still doing his hair. So he wanted to use the comb on me while I was using the comb on him. So I had to get him a comb, share it with him, and use another comb. He didn't want the comb that I got out of the bin to give to him. He wanted the one that I had that I was using with him. But anywho, mom captured this picture, and that was the result of it. And at the end, this is, how he, let me find it again. Hold on. This is how we ended up at the end of that. So once again, toddlers need a reassurance, the trust, they're developing the trust factor. So you may need to cut while mom and dad are sitting in the lap. And for me, like I said, that's okay. WeK says, oh, cutie pie, that's awesome. You give him the experience to use the comb on you, getting him comfortable to make sure he trusted you and that you weren't hurting him by doing his hair. Exactly. WeK, I just, yeah, that's, I can't tell you all how much, let me say this. I'm coming into this industry much, much later in life. So I've had a lot of experience. I've been in many different careers. The longest career as a whole, though I've worked with children in various capacities, have been 16 years. I was 7 years in the military, but nonetheless, I've done a number of years with children. So with that being said, I'm seeing how all of those things work for me, and I'm so grateful for it because in some instances, hey, LaDosha, thank you for tuning in. In some instances, it gives me an advantage over the younger generation, with my customer service, communication, problem solving skills, conflict management when you're dealing with customers, just things of that nature. Hey, WeK, what up? That LaDosha saying that. So working with my children, it brings me so much joy, and to see the parents' response, because many of them that come see me don't know my background unless they've done research or someone has referred them to me and they know a little bit about me, or they've reached out to me and I've sent them a flyer that I have that shares my info of me having worked with children. I don't think I have it on the set, but I'll try to pull it up while we're on, and share that with you. But nonetheless, I don't have a problem with that. So example 2, a tween may feel awkward about how they look. So you'll want to speak with more respect, asking for their opinion or letting them check the mirror helps them to feel in control. I do that a lot. I'm very big on that because we've been teens, y'all. We know how difficult and challenging those years can be not only challenging, but awkward. Our bodies are changing. You know, we're getting taller. For men, their voice are getting deeper. You know, our bodies are, you know, things are going on with our bodies. You know, yeah. So things are happening. So with them, it's about not only respect, but reassurance, that confidence, and encouraging them, you know, supporting them with whatever the decision as it relates to the cut or the style. So I'm big on helping them or reflecting that mirror back to them in a positive way. Hey, Cheryl, thank you for joining. Greatly appreciate it. Tonight's episode, Miss Barbara Yah-Tay, thank you. Tonight's episode is part 2 of a 3-part series to share with everybody. The series is entitled Serving Little Kings and Queens, Cutting with Care. Last week, we talked about first cuts and big feelings, serving children with care. And this week, we're talking about beyond the chair, the emotional intelligence of grooming children. And I've gone through the first topic. Actually, I'm still on the first topic. I'm being a little long-winded. Y'all know how I am with the children. I had to stop and start because the whole podcast froze. But we getting through this. And for my TikTok fam, y'all got to help me get to 1,000. Like I say, I don't know if y'all see me or not, but I'm on. Okay. So this first topic is understanding the needs of toddlers and tweens. And as I mentioned before, toddlers cling, they cry, they're developing trust. I shared a picture here of one of my young ones who wanted to comb my hair while I was doing his hair. So I had to give him the comb that I had because he wouldn't take the comb that I took out of the rollabout cart. So, but nonetheless, and this is how it ended up. Mom got that picture, but it's about building that trust. So with teens, like I said, they're feeling awkward. They want to know how they look. They're, you know, into their looks. It's a whole different ball game. With that, the third point is, I think of it like teaching different grade levels. So depending on who I got in the chair, if it's a little one, it's a school-age child, it's a middle schooler, it's a high schooler, or even a college student, I'm handling them differently. My conversation is different. Like I said earlier, I adjust my energy, I adjust my voice, and even my tools. I talked about my tools. So I'm gonna throw this back out here again as a recap. For my babies, I use my Slimline Pro. Let me take this down. I use my Slimline Pro because it's not as intense. I'm just gonna say as intense. It still give me a sharp lineup, but I just choose to use the tool according to the child's temperament and what they can handle and what they can't. And for my middle schoolers, teens, adults, I use my Coco digital gap trimmers as well because they're a little more precise and got a little bite to them. Now, they don't bite them. I hope not, because I'm always asking about it. Let's see, Cheryl say, hey, WK, yes, it's a special skill. It is. I was sharing with them, not knowing that all these years of working with children will come into play with what I do now. Even though I service everybody, I still attract children. So, like I said, I think of it as teaching different grade levels. You wouldn't want to use the same tone and same method with a kindergartner as 8th grade. So I adjust my tone, my energy, and my tools accordingly. All right. So the second topic is grooming and identity in children, especially our Black and Brown community. So hair is heritage. Y'all know I got to throw this plug in here. My book is entitled The Heritage of Hair. So I do have a heritage of it, like Miss Cheryl, the hair oracle is what we call her, the hair oracle. there's a heritage there, but in general conversation, hair is heritage. And for Black and brown children, their first braid or lineup can shape how they see their beauty or their handsomeness, and their strength. It can shape all of that, which is why I go back to, if a child is not emotionally ready for their first cut or their styling service, um, I'm not going to force it on them. I advise the parent, let's wait, have them come back and see me a few times to get to know me, to build that trust that we talked about, so they feel more comfortable with me before we get into that service. Because of this, I don't want their first experience to have a negative impact on how they see themselves, their beauty, and their strength. So I do take, I don't take it lightly. I'm going to say I do take it lightly. I don't take it lightly, and I honor it every single time. It don't matter who's in the chair. I told y'all I speak children. I speak kids, right? So that's just in me. So with that, when a child sees their texture, they can, I want to celebrate it in the chair, especially for our textured children, textured hair children, because there's so much out there that still doesn't show it in a positive light, you know. So me as their service provider, I want them to love it. I want them to know how to care for it. I want them to know how to, I hate to use the term manage it, but I want them to have those things. WeK says here, do you teach parents how to care for their children hair, especially autistic children? I do. Most of my autistic children are boys, which that's the ratio. So oftentimes I share with them about coming on a regular basis to keep their hair cut low, especially if they're really, really young. One, so they get used to it, the sound of the clippers and trimmers on their heads. Yes, I do. I do share that with them. Cheryl says here, their parents should still get a consultation themselves so they can give you as much information before the barber meets the child. Your thoughts? You're right. I do talk with a lot of my parents because, of course, they're the ones, although the child is receiving the service, the parents are bringing them there for the service. So in my consultation with them, Cheryl, to answer that question, for those who aren't aware of my background and not just barbering, I share with them my training, my specialty as a trained paraprofessional, to work with special needs and autistic children, as well as being a certified life coach and life purpose and career coach. So I reassure them that not only can I provide the actual service of serving the child in terms of a cut, a braid, a styling service, whatever it may be, I also inform them that I have not only the knowledge and the experience to work with their child emotionally, I have the capacity to do that along with my training. So I do share that with them during our conversation. Let's see here. Ladosha says, it definitely takes an array of skills to serve children. It does. It really, really does. So I speak kids, I speak children. So the second example that I have here is installing their first set of braids or styling their froze neatly before school pictures help to build confidence. Like we're getting ready to come up on back to school. And I gotta, I'm gonna share this. I had one of my clients call me day before yesterday. because the little girl had gone to the dad at the barbershop. I'm not at the barbershop where I used to be. I'm in another space now. But nonetheless, because the little girl hadn't seen me, she was afraid that she wasn't going to get her hair done. This is the connection that I have. And let me put up this video, y'all. This is perfect timing to put this video up. So bear with me. So I do my clients privately and in the salon, depending on what it is that they need. And yes, I do.
Let's see.
So
Turn
this is Charlotte.
around. Turn around. Turn around. Twirl. Shake it. Shake it. Look at it. Hey, Charlotte.
So
You
this
like
is what
it?
confidence
You
building
did?
and
Did you pick out your
self-esteem.
colors? You
She picked out the
did?
color for
All
her braids.
right. Look at that pretty hair.
So yeah, I'm smiling because I have a connection with my children and their parents. But she was afraid that she wasn't going to get her hair done. So her dad had to literally call me on the phone so that she can hear my voice to know she's going to get her hair done. So it's things like that that empowers me. Y'all, I'm getting emotional about this because I really take pride in it. I love what I do. I take my connection with my children, and I say my children, they their parents' kids, but they my children when they come in. They come in. Um, um, we can't say Miss Charlotte is so cute. I love the confidence and smile on her face. It goes back to that. That's what it's all about for me. You know, getting them involved. Her selecting her beads, the colors, the arrangement, and how we install them on the hair. What color she want them to go in, what side of the head, you know, how does she want them done? I get them involved because it empowers them. It makes them feel like they have a say so in what it is that they're getting done, which in my opinion they do. But nonetheless, uh, it's big. It's big. So it's more than just a look. It's pride in not only their hair, but their heritage as well. So it's very, very important to me. A next example is it's like a child when a kid wears cultural clothing or on Heritage Day, or and they get a compliment. Hair does the same thing every day for them. Like when she wears this style, somebody compliments her or says something about it. So it's something that's ongoing. And when it's groomed with love and intention, y'all see the confidence. You see the smile. Let me play that one more time.
Now, Charlotte, let's see. Turn around. Turn around. Turn around. Twirl. Shake it. Shake it. Look at it. Hey, Charlotte. You like it? You did? Did you pick out your colors? You
Yeah,
did?
you
All
did.
right.
You
Look at
did.
that pretty
You did.
hair.
So to me, that's what it's all about. Cheryl says, I truly believe the stylist performs at the master level when they master children's hair care. Wow, thank you. I'm I love it. I love it. I love it, y'all. Every crown I touch is connected to culture. I'm not just cutting hair. I'm preserving self-worth in a world that often tells the children otherwise. So it's my background with working with children has really been an asset for me in the industry now. So I take everything that I know, my love for them and their parents, and I put it into what I do. So let's get to the next topic. The next topic is the barber stylist, the barber or stylist as a role model, what kids see and what they feel. So barbers aren't just behind the chair. We're in their memory. Like I just shared, her dad called me yesterday on the phone. Charlotte, and I can hear her in the back seat. Charlotte wants to know that she's still getting her hair done. Yes. And I set it up. I just say we set it up. She's coming. It'll be a private one, but she's coming. Anywho, what kids see in us matters. I'm always presenting myself professionally. Like I say, I speak children, I speak kid language. So my voice, my tone, my interaction with them, I'm on their level. I'm with them. Are we calm? Are we kind? Are we, making them feel comfortable? Are we kind of standoffish to they're afraid of us? They don't want to have nothing to do with us. They screaming and hollering because kids sense stuff. They know, So yeah, I show up as someone they can look up to and not just look at. I'm a life coach. I'm a certified life coach, life purpose and career coach. So there's not only a certain expectation I have for myself and modeling before them, but also to their parents. You're someone that you can trust for me to groom your child. I'm going to take care of them. I'm going to support you. I'm going to do what I can for those 30 to 2-3 hours, 4 hours that I got with them in the chair, depending on what type of service. So I say 30 to however many hours I have with the child. So kids, like I say, kids observe. They not only look up to us, they look at us too. So with that, kids observe how we speak, how we dress, and how we treat their parents. If they see kindness and professionalism, guess what? They're gonna learn to model that in their own way. So, like I said, I'm professional with a kid overtone to it with my kids, and they see me interacting and engaging with their parents. Whether it be dad, mom, or both of them, auntie, grandma. I done had grandparents bring the kids in. It doesn't matter who it is. I become part of the family too. I'm gonna just say that I become part of the family. So the next example with stylists and barbers as models or role models, a young girl seeing a female barber. This is big, and I want to bring this in here. In a male-dominated space, can plant the seed of I can do this too. So with the percentage of women going up in this male-dominated field, is imperative that I present myself professionally, that I interact not only with them, but others in the barbershop and salon professionally as well. My co-barbers and my co-stylists, as well as other clients who are being serviced by other professionals in there, and those who are coming in. It's imperative that I model the right things to them, so they're seeing it not just as a service, but how I interact with my peers as well as others who come in and out of the same space. But with that, young girls seeing me or seeing other female barbers in a male-dominated industry. Well, she doing it, I can do it. So that's important. And the last thing, example I want to share is you're not just cutting hair. You're showing kids showing kids what care, patience, and excellence look like up close. I was brought up to operate in a spirit of excellence. That means do my best at everything that I do. you know, just put my best foot forward, because my mom used to always say, if you did it right the first time, you won't have to do it again. So if you do it right the first time. But anyway, it, showing up. I'm not just cutting hair, you know, that I'm not just doing that. I'm modeling what care looks like, what patient looks like, what operating in a spirit of excellence look like up close. Because they sitting in the chair and I'm right here in their face. So I'm sharing that. LaDosha says facts. Yeah, I'm modeling that to them, not just what I can do for them. I'm modeling that. So I don't just serve styles. I serve as an example. As a woman in a male-dominated field, I love when little girls and boys leave knowing they can be bold, skilled, and kind as well. As a matter of fact, I don't know if I shared this, but one of my clients said he had an interest in barbering. I put a whole kit together for him, y'all. I basically gave him all of my tools that I got from when I went to school, put it in a bag, a black leather bag, and gave it to his mom. His mom picked it up and I gave it to him, you know, because I've been cutting his hair for a minute. If y'all watch episode 11 with Kamachi, it's him. It's him. Go check out episode 11. But anywho, let's get into this next point. Point number 4 is stories of transformation that change behavior at home or at school. I've seen kids really shy sitting in the chair before a haircut, and then, you know, they don't talk much, don't say much. And now I got kids talking to me. You know, I had a parent tell me, one of my kids, I'm gonna see if I can find a picture of him. One of my kids, hold on, y'all, comes get his locks done. Okay, Trenton wouldn't take pictures, do none of that. How about Trenton take pictures for Miss Yah-Tay, y'all? Let me see. I gotta find it. How about Trenton take pictures, not only pictures, but video. Let me pull up this here. Close this out. I'm gonna pull up a video. Thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna put up I'm gonna find it and send it to myself. Y'all work with me on this. I didn't even think about putting one of these in, but give me a second to send this to myself so that I can show y'all. Trent don't take pictures for nobody, but you know what his mom told me? He'll take them for you. So every time I do his lock retwist, do maintenance on his hair, guess what? We got to get our 3 poses, 3 different poses. And we've been doing this for over a year that Trenton does this for me. Hold up, y'all. Give me a second. Let me pull this up for you. Let me pull it up. Y'all are so patient. Hold on. I'm working this social media. TikTok folks, I need y'all help. I don't know if you see me, but y'all got to hit that follow button so I can be live with y'all. So I can be live. Hold on. I'm trying to pull this. I tell you. There we go. It's coming, y'all. Give me a second. Let's see. WK says, it feels so good to know your work is appreciated and received. Do you have a wall with the pictures that are sent to you by parents? No, I don't. I'm not in my own space yet. I'm gonna say that. I'm working towards that. I'm not in my own space yet, but I'm working towards that. But I do have pictures, and that's what I plan to do. I plan to do that. Give me a second. Let me show y'all this image so you can see it. There he is. All right. And believe it or not, Mr. Trenton is a band member at Dutch Fort. That's Trenton right there. So every time we get his hair done, we get 3 images. He get 3 poses. And his mom was like, he never takes pictures for nobody, but he does them for you. I'm grateful. And also, y'all, he was one that rarely say anything, rarely talk. When we first started, he's very observant. He watches, but of course he was getting to know me. I was getting to know him. Now, Trenton talk. We hold conversations. We talk about different things, and he's gonna be a senior this year. So, I've been watching him in the band at Dutch Fort. This will go in. I got a full season last year. The first season I didn't get too many because I found out about him being in the band late. So I got to see a few games, but this year will be another whole season of football. But nonetheless, that's Trenton. That's one of my young kids. I'll share that. One of my young kids. Let me take that one down. So as I was saying, being a role model, working with our children, the transformation that changed behavior at home, at school, there's one right there. So he was shy, now he talks. So I'm learning about that. All right, having that done. Let me look. Hold on, y'all. I'm off my point. Real life. Okay. So another one is I had a young child who I just said that, who barely talked. Now he's talking. Over time, he began to open up. That's him. He began to open up. I had another child, y'all, who was teased in school about his hair. So the grandmother had taken him to have his locks done by somebody else. Started, didn't turn out right. So they just so happened to be, at the time I was in the mall, they just so happened to be in the mall, sitting outside the barber shop, and she observed me, made an appointment for me to start his locks. The beauty in me being a barber stylist, I was not only able to cut his hair, start his locks, and I have been maintaining them ever since. But his confidence level, his self-esteem was through the roof. I'll just say that, was through the roof. I think I shared a video of him previously, but I won't go through all of that with y'all, but that was another one. So after consistent affirming him and grooming him over that time, he started to, become more self-confident, more self-assured, and he's a middle schooler. So we all know that time can be very challenging and tough. Let me see here. I'm trying to keep up with the comments. You've established a trust with him. I'm glad he has you as a barber. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. So it wasn't so problematic anymore for him. They started to see his hair, and him being a little bit more assertive, just feeling good about himself. So I'm glad I've been able to support not only his parents with getting his locks started properly and correctly, but also helping to build his self-esteem, self-confidence, and self-worth through that process. And sometimes something as simple as a lineup can change how a kid carry themselves, because we all know, even adults know about that lineup. You can mess up on a fade, but long as you get that line up tight and straight, you good. I told y'all my young one who did the fingers like this y'all remember last week, his space line. So even he know about the space line, but I also teach them about how it should look, not going back too far, what it means to go back too far. You know, all of those things. So they are not only able to assess how their shape up looks, but also know if something ain't right. So that's how I am with my kids. There's nothing like hearing, I love your cut, or he loves the cut, or she loves the style, like y'all saw with little Charlotte there. She loved it, and the smile. So let me show you all a few more smiles here as it relates to my kids. Here's one. That's another one of my babies. Y'all see the smile. And all I did was just say, can I get a picture? And he was like, yes. So that's one. And here's another one. And this little one is actually a twin, y'all. But I pulled that one up. So you see that smile. That's the twin. And yeah, that's the twin. But that's what I receive when I care for my children. Let me see if y'all notice the difference. Here's the other twin. Y'all see the other twin? But you see the smiles though, right? You see the smiles. So that's what it's all about for me. Seeing the smiles, them looking in the mirror, the moments. These are the moments for me. I enjoy that, you know, and it's worth talking about and sharing. And you can see it, y'all. Y'all can see it. Y'all can see it. So the next one is, the last one is balancing structure and freedom in the chair. And what I mean by structure is basically the process, what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, and yeah, and freedom. What they're doing. Do we need to take a break? Can you hold this toy? I need your hands. I need you to work with me. Look down at your shoes. Like today I had to tell my little one, look at Elmo. What color are Elmo eyes? He had Elmo on his shoe. So that's what I mean by Elmo. But anywho, yeah. So structure gives safety. Freedom gives trust. And in my chair, my children get both clear guidelines with room to express themselves. That's how we build mutual respect. So they know what Miss Yah-Tay gonna do, and they know what Miss Yah-Tay expect of them too. WK says, he's so cute. All your children look well behaved and happy. Their smiles are perfect and priceless. But hold up, WK. Let me show y'all this video. Hold on. This one was actually tied. So let me show y'all this video for you say that. I do get the challenges, so we got to show the good with the bad, or the pretty with the ugly, or a child who's smiling with one who like, hurry up, Miss Yah-Tay, I'm ready for you to finish this. So let me show y'all this here. Y'all see that? That's my other buddy right there. Y'all see how he looking? His facial expression, he ready to go. He ready to be done. He ready to be finished. He's done with me. The whole 9 yards. So, yeah, I get that too. And I have to, you know, reel him back in, you know, talk to him, ask him to be patient. We're going to get there. We took some breaks, you know, yeah. So we get it. I get it. So it's not always they happy with Miss Yah-Tay. They're not always happy with Miss Yah-Tay. Let me show y'all this. So okay, Sometimes they gotta eat. Hold on, let me find that one with him. So you'll see why he was a little frustrated, because he got all this hair, y'all. You see that, right? So yeah, yeah, yeah. So Ladosha says, too cute. A beautiful hairstyle you did on him. Thank you so very much. I absolutely I love what I do, and I'm grateful to be doing what I'm doing at this time. Let me see if I got I think I have the video. Hold on, y'all. You know, you with this, you can't put everything up. You gotta you gotta work it in. You gotta work it in. Let me see if I got the finished product of him. I'm gonna show. Oh, hold on. Let me show this one. Okay, here we go. All right, that little man. All right, here you go. This we give him the whole close, cover his face so he can see it, y'all.
You ready?
So
Look, what you think?
watch
You
this,
like it?
y'all. Now he was fixed on that.
You touching? It is touching your
Listen,
back and your
you hear
neck.
him to his hair touching his back. So yeah, oh yeah. So he went from the other video y'all saw to that. Okay, but let me finish this. So structure gives safety, freedom gives trust. In my chair, my kids get both. Clear guidance with room to express themselves. That's how I build mutual respect. So structure might look like setting clear expectations with them. I'm going to put the neck strip on, and I actually go through this, y'all. I really do go through this. I'm gonna put on the neck strip. I'm gonna put on the cape. I even let them select their cape. Okay, the freedom to select. But I'm gonna put on this neck strip. I'm walking them through what we're doing. I'm gonna put on this cape. If they ask why we doing it, I tell them why. Sanitation, we gotta protect your neck from the cape. So I let them know about that. I'm going to start with this first. An example here, like this little one, I'm setting up his cut. So I told him, we gonna put your ball line in first. I talked them through it because I want them to understand. I want them to know what's going on. I want them to feel comfortable. And though they may not understand it now, it may not register now, but as they get older and they come in and they continuously hear me go through the process, they're going to know what's going on. They're going to know what to expect. They're going to know what to look for, and they're going to know how it's supposed to turn out. And if there's something incorrect or not to their standards, because even though their parents paying, it's still their money. In other words, I tell them, you the boss, because you paying me to give you what you desire, unless I'm rendering a professional opinion on something. But I do share that with them because I want them to be empowered as it relates to speaking up about their service, their likes, their dislikes. Even if they're uncomfortable with something, I encourage them to speak up on that. And not only do I encourage them, I check in with them, and I ask questions because I want them to communicate with me about how they feel, what they're thinking, what's going on. Ladosha says, I love how the little boys want braid styles that are not like girl. Yes, and that one there, Junior, he'll tell you that look like a girl. I don't want that. That's a girl style. He will tell you. He will tell you that. So I share that with them. And also freedom might look like letting them choose the cape. I told y'all that. Letting them choose the cape or what to watch on TV while they're in the chair. So when I have my private clients, they got a whole TV, they got a whole iPad, I don't have a gaming system yet because I'm not in the games, but I'm thinking about getting one of them PlayStations, whatever it is. Anywho, um, I let them have control. They get the remote control. So this one week, I'm gonna show y'all. I gotta send the picture. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I gotta send this one. So let me pull this one up and share this with you. So I give my kids the remote and they get the iPad. If they want the iPad and the remote, I give it to them. No problem, y'all. No problem. So this little one, I did his hair. It was a private client because they were actually preparing to go out of town. So they were leaving the next day. So I actually, had to get them on the LaDosha laughing. I had to get them in, and get them going. So let me pull this one up. So you see this little cutie pie, Mr. Carter. Then Mr. Carter. So Mr. Carter had the remote and he had the iPad in his lap. And he was literally, y'all, I kid you not, he was literally watching what he was watching on the iPad on the TV. But when he came in, I handed it to him because he's sitting in the chair is his domain. So he get to watch what he want to watch. Yeah. So anywho, that's what freedom looks like for my kids. But like I say, there's some expectation, and I work with them. We negotiate on some stuff. So yeah, the second one is it's to me, it's like giving kids rules at a playground. So this is your playground, but this is where you can. This is your room to play in, but still letting them pick how they play within boundaries. So this is the playground. This is your chair. This is how I expect you to sit in the chair. Yeah. You can watch TV. You can look at the iPad if you want to as well. And that's what my little buddy did. He had the iPad going and the TV going at the same time. So with that, the key is guidance without control, offering a safe routine while still making space for their voices. I speak kid, my kids speak to me. And it's a mutual respect where there's safety and trust there. So like I said, a safety structure which offers safety, and freedom which gives trust. So it's something that allows me to build rapport and respect with my babies. I call them my babies. So barbering with emotional intelligence means I set boundaries, but I allow self-expression. It's not just about the service, it's the relationship. And as you all can see, I do have a relationship with my babies. Let me, it's one more video that I want to share with y'all. Hold on. I hope y'all have enjoyed this info. I feel like I've given a lot of information here, but it's all relevant. It's all relevant. And let me show you another one of my clients that I did their hair a while ago, but this young man was getting braids. Hold on. Y'all know how the barbershop is, but he's getting his first set of braids by box braids by me. A little shy, but you can see he's happy. He's trying to contain his emotions. Yeah, he's trying to contain it, but that was his first time. So for my TikTok fam, if y'all got to go watch the video in order to see these images here. Let me show one more for you all. Gotta dial it up, y'all. I'm getting better. This podcasting thing takes some time. It takes some time. So I'm gonna show you my little man again. This is a different style on him. I just did some big box braid to give his hair a break. And y'all see how he acting. Y'all see how he acting.
What you think?
See that? Hey, what you think?
Like
I'm
it?
always getting their opinion. I'm always looking to get their input, and I'm always reassuring them in the style that they've chosen as well, y'all. So I don't own the rights to that music playing in the background of that video, y'all. So one more, and this is one as I'm prepping the little one that I showed y'all, the line, the ball line that I was placing in his head.
Got my big boy in the chair today. He acting like a big boy today.
So see how I talk
We're
to
gonna do a
him.
high
Oh,
ball
you
fade
video
on him.
picked up. Thank you.
Right?
All right. So in this video, I was
Right. We got my
actually
big boy in the
prepping
chair today. He
Jordan.
acting like a big boy today.
Uh, I had to tell his
We're
mom,
gonna
go
do
in the
a
mall.
high ball fade
Because
on him.
he act one way when she there,
Right?
but when she's gone, he acts like a big boy. He sit upright. He does what big boys do. So yeah. Anywho, that one of my babies who was getting prepared for his cut that day. He was getting prepared. So back to this barbering thing. Tonight's episode has been about the emotional intelligence of grooming kids. I've given you all 5 points. This is a 3-part series serving the little kings and queens, cutting with care. And as you all see, I cut with care, I groom with care, I care about my babies. They care about me too. You can see it in the video clips, the smiles. I'm just grateful. So this has been episode 27, Beyond the Chair, the emotional intelligence of grooming kids, grooming children. Tonight we covered the topics of understanding the developmental stages. We really talked about toddlers and tweens, but it's I like I said, I adjust my tone, I adjust everything depending on the age of the child and what stage they're at. We talked about grooming and identity in children, especially Black and brown communities. We talked about barbers and stylists, or barber stylists, as role models, what kids see and how they feel. So what they see, not only how they feel, but what they feel. We also talked about stories of transformation that change behavior at home, in school, or just change behavior in general. We also talked about balance and structure and freedom in the chair. And just a quick run through for the first one, um, uh, teens and tweens, remember, toddlers, tweens, teens. Okay, toddlers need trust. They're developing trust. So if mom and dad need to sit in the chair, I'm okay with it. Our teens, tweens, young adults, uh, uh, it's awkwardness. You know, they're into image, um, what they look like, how they look, what others think of how they look. So it's about building respect, or mutual respect, confidence in them, you know, self-assurance, all of those things. And as I mentioned before, like we teach at different levels, or kids are taught at different levels. I use the same tone. I don't use the same tone or method with the kindergarten as an 8th grader, or a preschooler as a high schooler. You know, my energy, my voice, and my tools. Whatever that child needs, I'm providing that. So that's point number one. The second one was grooming and identity in children, especially Black children in the community. Hair is heritage for us. So for Black and brown children, that first braid, that first lineup can shape how they see their beauty and strength. So I'm intentional about how I say, what I say, how I say it, and just ensuring that I'm communicating self-worth, pride in their hair and their heritage. And like I say, I don't take it lightly. I honor it every time, all the time. And you can see it in the images that I've shared with you all. The third point is barbers and stylists as role models. It's not only what a kid sees and feels, but also how they feel. Kids observe how we speak, how we dress, how we treat their parents. If they see kindness and professionalism, they'll learn to model that too. So for me, it's not just, I don't just serve style, I serve as an example to our little ones. And especially as a woman in a male dominated field, I take pride in it, especially for our little girls seeing me in that position, because they might decide that I want to do it too. And I'm here to not only share, but show them that they can do it too. So I love it. I love it. The next point is stories of transformation that change behavior at home or at school or wherever they may be. Our young clients, I've had them who barely talked, um, who got teased, all of those things. So I've been instrumental in supporting them at whatever phase or whatever stage um, they're at. And like I shared before, something as a simple lineup can change how they view themselves. I told y'all my one little one, Lachlan, his space line got to be right. And not only do I show them how it's supposed to look, sometimes I may leave something out or not do something to see if they notice, because I'm checking so they know how to assess their cut, what to look for, and they can speak up about it, even to me as their barber stylist. The next one is balance, instruction, and freedom. That's actually the last one. And remember, structure gives safety, freedom gives trust. And in my chair, my children get both. They get the clear guidance. They know what to expect. And they also have room to express themselves. And this is how I build mutual respect for me and them, and mutual respect for me and their parents as well. So, yeah, y'all, barbering with emotional intelligence for me means setting boundaries, but allowing self-expression. It's not just service, it's relationship for me, with my kids. It's about relationship, not only with them, but their parents as well. And you see the relationship that I have with my babies, from the youngest, the littlest one, to my elderly client, the oldest one. So as barbers and stylists, we're not just grooming, we're guiding. From toddlers to teens, every haircut has the power to uplift, and I do my best to be that for them, their cheerleader, their encourager, their supporter, and especially with my background of having worked with children, a life purpose and life coach, a life purpose and career coach. I'm always giving to them, because I want them to feel good about themselves, feel great about their service, but more importantly, walk with pride, with dignity, pride, and self-realization in who they are, their haircut, and their heritage. So in this episode, hopefully I've given you some new lens on how to serve children and how some love by, have shared some love by providing, sharing this and tagging Yah-Tay the Barber Stylist in it. So let's keep this conversation going, and be the next generation of stylists who style and groom children, um, that take pride in their hair and their heritage. I'm I'm grateful, y'all. Thank you so much. If you're catching this on the replay, thank you for taking time out of your day to replay this podcast. I know I've been a little long-winded with this one, but as y'all can see, my background over 20 years this year of working with children, I really intertwine all of that in what I do. So yeah. I'm grateful to the parents. I want to say to my parents out there, thank you for entrusting me with servicing your children. I'm very grateful. I don't take it lightly. I take it to heart. Um, and yeah, and thank you to my children for trusting me. I don't know if they watching this, but I thank them as well, because there has to be a level of trust with them for me to continue to come back and for me to service them. So let's keep this conversation going, because the next generation is watching us. They really are watching us, and how we show up matters more than ever. It matters more than ever. And I'm going to do my part. My prayers that you do your part as well. Ladosha says here, I love the way you're promoting that it's okay to show love. I think that it's underrated. It is. I want to share this with you all before um, I get out. I close out. Get out. I close out. Yeah, I'm gonna get out. No, before I close out, I if you got my book, you know I started late. Okay. But nonetheless, I'm right on time, because everything that I've experienced, I've gone through, the various professional fields I've done, from prevention and outreach education to youth work, to I've even worked in the interior design field. I have a bachelor's in interior design, but nonetheless, all of those things have they work now. So with that being said, when I started barber school at 47, it was a month before my 48th birthday. I was a little nervous about it. I'm like, well, I'm too old, I'm too this. And one of my mentors said, who says you're too old? Who said that? And I was like, I felt that way. And also the looks that I got, because most of the folks in school, except for the night class, were young. They were young. So I I felt some type of way about coming into this particular career field at such um, a more seasoned age. Not only that, I shared with you all that I grew up in the industry, and I would always compare, well, if I had gone in, I would have been in it X amount of years. It wasn't for me to go into it at that time, because I wouldn't have, especially as it relates to children, I wouldn't have the experience, the knowledge, um, the love and compassion that I have for my children to be able to do this like I do it now. So, yeah, um, I'm grateful to be in it at this time, because everything that I've experienced, everything that I know lends to what I do now. So if you're someone out there that's considering starting something new, doing something new, y'all hear this saying all the time, you're never too old. You're never too old. You're never too young. I mean, you're never too young. You're never too old to start. So here I am, starting at 47. Now I'm 53, and we rocking and rolling in this thing. And I feel like I'm prepared to do this. I feel like I've been groomed to do this. I feel like I got what it takes to do this. Now I had to tighten up on my fading skills, but that was repetition. You know, I have my good days and my not so good days. But like I say, for the most part, I felt like, okay, I've been prepared to do this. I've been groomed to do this. I'm ready to do this. And I'm doing it. So as I close out on part 2 of a 3-part series, and this once again is Beyond the Chair, the emotional intelligence of grooming kids. The series is entitled Serving Little Kings and Queens, Cutting with Care. This has been the second part of a 3-part series. Next week, we'll tap into part 3. Do join me, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, here on Female Barber Talk with Yah-Tay. Let me put up this. I think I got it up already. Female Barber Talk with Yah-Tay. I am on every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I also am going to take this up, moment to invite other female barbers on. If you know someone that knows someone who's a female barber, have them send them my info, connect me with them, or ask them to reach out to me, because I would love to get them on the podcast, because this is about our voice. We have a unique place in this industry. I think we bring a different perspective. We bring a different way of doing things to it. But nonetheless, I'm interested in bringing more female barbers on. So if you know somebody that knows somebody, share this with them, and I invite them on. Other than that, this is a 3-part series. Next week, we will be talking about special needs and children with, I call them special abilities, because the children who have special needs or autistic, they're gifted in other ways. I'll just say that. So I'm going to be sharing some things as it relates to that. It'll be 5 points again. I try to do 3 to 5. I'm going to be sharing some things on that topic next week. So do join me. Thank you, LaDosha. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, WK, for tuning in. I appreciate it. Have a good night. See you next Sunday. Yes, I see you tomorrow and Thursday. But thank you all for joining. I greatly appreciate it. Nonetheless, the third part will be next week. And I got to share this with y'all. So first Sundays, we're going to have my barber, Brandy Daniels, on. So the first Sunday of each month, Brandy's going to be on. So we're going to get together. We're supposed to get together tomorrow to talk about some things and some subjects and things that we want to share with you all collectively, to bring some barber stuff to you. But anywho, that's coming up. Part 3 is coming up next week. Part 1 is up. Part 1 of the 3-part series is up. Episode 26. First cuts and big feelings, serving children with care. That's already in the podcast. Q, I guess you say Q, archive is in there. Just go to Real Roots TV and you can check it out there. But thank you all once again for your patience. I appreciate those of you who have tuned in live. If you're catching this on the replay, thank you as well. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this. Please, my TikTok folks, they say y'all see me over there. I hope that's the case. But even if you are seeing me, I still ask that y'all go ahead and follow me, please. Please help me get 1,000, please. And I'll be coming on more. I'm working on getting a better understanding of the TikTok platform, so that I can share my knowledge and content with you all as well. I'm also working on how to add a person to it, but it's going to take some time. Y'all just bear with me because I'm still working out some kinks with StreamYard. For my Yah-Tay the Barber Stylist family and Talk with Yah-Tay family, thank you all for tuning in. And I'm going to call it a night, and we're going to wrap it up. And we'll see y'all again soon. This has been episode 27, Beyond the Chair, the emotional intelligence of grooming kids. Thank you. Appreciate y'all.
Naturals.